Okay, folks, well, let's get this staff meeting rolling because, as always, we have a lot to do this week here at CCE. How's everybody doing? What, this like 400th day into this pandemic? I know. But hey, I will say I think we've been doing pretty well working remotely, by and large, except for maybe that that one time where Faith couldn't figure out how to turn off the kitten filter either. That was embarrassing.
Or when Casey got a little too comfy and showed up in her bathroom.
Well, lucky for us, no one ever records these staff meetings. Anyway, before we go through the plans for this week, I did actually want to take a minute to recognize that it has been a uniquely hard year, and we've really had to rise above some very difficult circumstances to achieve our mission. And so I know it's easy to get caught up in all of the pain that this year has caused, but I think now more than ever, it is important to remind ourselves of the good that CCE has been able to accomplish. So with that in mind, I think let's switch things up a little bit this staff meeting and take some time to reflect on what we are most proud of in this last year.
I'm really proud of all of you, our team and our work. CCE really rose above to play such a key role in expanding eligibility for good time credits and compassionate release as COVID is finding its way into our jails and prisons. We know the pandemic hit DC's incarcerated residents so hard, and we help people find relief. The first time, 519 people who were sentenced in the 90s are eligible for the good time credits that everyone else already gets. And since we expanded compassionate release, we know at least 69 people have come home from prison.
I can go next. I think it's really cool that we were able to successfully pivot a lot of our justice education and public forums to virtual settings, including our Benchmark Media Dialogue program on access to government records during a pandemic. We even hosted the Chief Judge Candidate Forum, and we're also able to do a few school jury education program virtual classroom visits with amazing judges in DC schools. I think I'm most proud of rising above to find new ways to come together and continue to educate DC residents during this time.
I can go next. Honestly, I'm just really proud that CCE has maintained our coalition work over the last year, despite all the challenges of the pandemic threw at us. Big shout out to our estate administration working group that is studying the barriers that people without lawyers face when trying to go through the probate process. They really have stayed the course and are developing policy recommendations right now.
Yeah, and I'm proud that we rose above the Zoom fatigue and the overwhelming number of crises to hold true to our vision. And through our district task force on jails and justice, we've harnessed the urgency that was created by the pandemic and the protests for racial justice to create a comprehensive 10-year plan to transform DC's criminal justice system.
With everything that happened over the summer, I think I am proud that CCE was still able to support the DC Reentry Action Network in launching their first phone pilot program, where we purchased smartphones and prepaid service plans for the district's returning citizens to help them stay connected to loved ones, case managers, and other support services that they need during the pandemic. The virtual landscape has been rough for all of us, and it's become imperative for everyone to have access to technology. And smartphones, laptops are often luxuries that we take for granted. So I'm just most proud that CCE was able to rise above and get creative to help and respond to the needs of the returning citizens in the district.
Even building off of that, we were able to support the advocacy that led to DC establishing the first affordable housing pilot for returning citizens, which I think is great.
Yeah. Oh, wow, you guys. I mean, even though I know those were just a few examples of our work in the last year, it really is quite clear we've accomplished a lot. And I'm really proud of all of us and our leaders. We've really stayed true to our tradition of trying to be a responsive and nimble organization focused on meeting our community's needs. And plus, we've stuck with our longstanding and collaborative approach, and that plus our respected stature in community, I think, has made all of that work possible in 2020 and early 2021. All right, well, I think we've used up all our time for staff meetings, so I guess everyone should just probably
take the week off.
Make pottery instead of working.
Send a bunch of angry tweets.
Make the interns do everything.
No. Let's just maybe stick with everyone continuing to do a great job and working hard, because despite all of those unhelpful suggestions you've made just now, I know in my heart that CCE is very lucky to have one of the best staffs around. So let's have a good week, you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.